In this exercise, we will cut the reference into pieces and draw each piece separately over the next 9 videos. This method helps identify mistakes and improve skills in shading and proportion. Following this series, I will take these pieces and show you how I use them as building blocks to create new expressive works. Grab this reference from the description below and let's get started. For this piece, it's quite a simple piece. It's just a bit of a sphere / semicircle to the one side and a very dark background. So I'm just going in here with my background, adding a pretty thick layer of PanPastel. Just coming closer to kind of just start to identify where this semicircle is positioned. And again, I'm just looking at the proportions. It's just coming out a little bit there to one side and getting that shape in, even though it fades into almost complete darkness at the base of the shape. I'm just adding the shape in. Starting to bring in those shades of gray. One of the first lesson in shading that is a very good beginner lesson is to look at a ball and just shade a ball. And this reminds me of that lesson of just looking at something that's a bit spherical with that light just hitting on one side and how it's just wraps around this shoulder and makes it stand out up against this really black dark background. And you can see I just still need to bring the shades down into a deeper tone. So I'm just going in with the PanPastel. I can pretty much do this whole piece just using the PanPastel. And just getting that background really velvety and black. I think the shades in this background will just go one shade deeper than what the PanPastel will allow me to do. So I'm just layering it on quite thick. I just spot that we've got a little bit of light, probably a little bit of dust just catching light here at the base. And I love these blurry specks of dust or lens flare type little circles, so I decided to put it in. It's not that significant for the picture, but as I have told you, I'm trying to put in everything. And it's actually quite tricky to get that little speck of light to the right kind of level of intensity. So it's a good exercise of just looking at this little speck and trying to match this lightning, this little touch of gray dappled in. Now I'm going to bring this pastel pencil into the background to bring that background down one more degree and just get those velvety blacks put in. And when I put these in, I feel the best way for me to work them into the paper is to use my finger. So I always just go for using my finger as a tool. I know people have different opinions on using your fingers, but I just really find them very handy, excuse the pun. as I'm looking at what I'm doing here, I just kind of often find a good way of gauging where I'm at with the shading in a picture is to kind of just look at the picture really softly, even just look at some of the gray in the background. I'm talking about here, talking about the table, just sort of resting my eyes on the table and then just perceiving the image through the corner of my eye. And that gives me a kind of a new perspective on where I'm at. And by looking at it through, not directly, but through the corner of my eye, I feel I can get a sense for how bright or how dark is it. I hear other people like Mad Charcoal, he always talks about squinting. And I've tried to use his technique of squinting, but I don't really feel that it works for me. I like to just gaze softly in the area near the drawing that I'm creating, but not directly at the picture. And I think then I get this similar view on my drawing to see if it's brighter or darker or sharper or whatever it needs kind of stands out to me. But this is the thing I find that it's always about looking at your picture from new angles. So I use everything I can get hold of. I step away, I look at my picture through a camera lens, I take a photo of it, I look at it through a mirror. So I just find as many ways as I can to look at whatever I'm working at and get that feel for how well it's working and how it's actually looking. I just need more softness around the top here, a little bit more of a transitioning between the lights and the dark. And I find that's always the tricky thing, to get that feeling smooth and to have it be believable. But I'm working on getting that smooth texture here. Also a little bit of even more dark down towards the base of the semicircle here. The shoulder really disappears into the background. Yeah, taking off a bit here with my kneaded eraser again, and then I'm going to bring brush back and soften those marks up, and just trying to create the balance that I see on my reference puzzle piece here. I find the blending stump is always handy for precision and just coming into creating a little bit of outlining. But this is a pretty simple piece of the puzzle, and I'm not going to overdo it too much. I'm just still kind of tweaking that transition from the light into the dark here. Just keeping on, taking some away, adding some back in, and just trying to get that transition feeling really smooth. So sometimes I can keep going like this quite a while, just adding and taking away until I'm happy. But I think I will stop here, and it's time to peel away this tape and have a go at fitting this piece into the puzzle and see where we are. I'm gonna fit this piece that I've drawn into the actual photograph to see how well it holds up against the shade in the picture that I was trying to recreate. And I think this looks pretty good. that's it for today's exercise. I hope you will come back and join me for the next pieces of this puzzle. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.